Hi, Drew here from Charlesglen Toyota, and I'd like to talk to you about one of my favorite vehicles in the Toyota lineup, the Toyota Tacoma. Toyota Tacoma's been around for quite a few years, and there's a reason why it has been. In order to understand it, I'd like to tell you about the Tacoma a little bit more. It comes in two different configurations, either the access cab or, as you see here, the Toyota Tacoma double cab. It also comes in either a 4x2 or a 4x4 application, as well as it has two different engines. Either you can choose from the fuel-efficient 4-cylinder 2.7 liter producing 159 horsepower engine, and or the 4-liter V6 engine, which produces 236 horsepower at the sweet spot of 5,200 RPMs, producing 266 foot-pounds of torque. Now, what's unique about this engine, of course, all these engines are VVTi, which stands for Variable Valve Timing with Intelligence. Simply, it makes your engine breathe easier. You know, and it's like the difference between running on a treadmill with a cold and running on the treadmill without a cold. And it gives you three great benefits: better fuel efficiency, more horsepower, and lower emissions. And it does this by all controlling the valve overlap. Now, attached to these wonderful engines, we've got Super ECT transmissions. ECT stands for Electronically Controlled Transmission. It's a very intuitive transmission. It's different than a regular transmission in this way. It watches and monitors what the driver's input is, what the temperature is outside, and what the load is. And it will change the shift points to maximize the fuel efficiency, give you smoother shifts, and better performance. Attached to the ECT transmission, as well as we have a unique four-wheel drive system. It's a part-time four-wheel drive system in this vehicle. So you choose when you want to switch it on and off. I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about that. Toyota's legendary part-time system works this way. Simply, you're driving down the road, you want to put it into four-wheel higher and drive. All you're going to do is switch from H2 to H4. On the dash, you'll see the green light will indicate a solid green light will mean you're in four-wheel drive version. Now again, you can drive in four-wheel drive over 100 kilometers an hour, but in order to engage the system, you have to be under that speed. If it isn't engaged properly, the light will keep blinking, which means slow down. We have too much wheel spin until the wheels regain grip, and then try put it in a four-wheel high, and then it will lock into that position. If you want it to go into four-wheel low, what you have to do is stop the vehicle, get the idle down, put the vehicle into neutral, and then switch over to four-wheel low. You'll see the four-wheel low indicator light will blink for a moment and then go solid. When it's in solid, it's in four-wheel low. Again, four-wheel low is a position that you want to use under 8 kilometers an hour in situations where you're going up a steep hill, you're in mud, you're in snow, or very unsafe terrain. Its maximum speed is 8 kilometers an hour. You want to reduce the amount of wheel spin you have. Now, the Toyota part-time system has a 2-speed transfer case with an automatic slip differential in the back. Some of our models do come with what's called a rear locking differential in the TRD versions of the access cab, and essentially what that does is it locks the rear wheels 50% power to the right, 50% power to the left. Therefore, it overrides the traction control system, giving maximum torque to each wheels to avoid slippage. All Tacomas also come with something called A-Track, or active traction control. And what that works and how this works is if you do have a spinning wheel, or the wheels is the sensors detect that there is going to be a spinning wheel, it will send power to the 3 remaining wheels. If there's only one wheel that has grip, A-Track will send the power to all the wheel, to that one wheel that isn't spinning. This is part of the legendary part-time system that Toyota offers in the Toyota Tacoma. What makes the Toyota Tacoma such a capable vehicle in the off-road situations? Well, other than its great four-wheel drive system, it starts right up here at the front. Toyota Tacoma has an impressive 35-degree approach angle and a rear departure angle of 27 degrees. Why that's important to you is when you're in the off-road terrain and you're hill climbing, the last thing you want to do is be stuck on that approach or on that decline. So Toyota Tacoma with these great approach and departure angles is going to be able to do the job for you. But we also have an impressive class-leading 9.4-inch ground clearance on the Toyota Tacoma as well. I want to talk to you a little bit about the suspension. Well, of course, the Toyota Tacoma is a framed vehicle and a body-on-frame, independent. But the suspension on the front is an independent wishbone suspension. It also has coils with gas-filled shock absorbers and a stabilizer bar in there. And one of the reasons why you want that is when you're in an off-road situation, you know, the ground's not always level where you're going. So you want each wheel to be able to travel independently over ruts, bumps, etc. What's unique about the Tacoma in our rear suspension is this. First of all, we have a multi-leaf spring with shock absorbers. But it's what we do with our shock absorbers, very similar to the Toyota Tundra. What we actually do is put our shock absorbers on the outside of the frame rail. Why? And they're staggered. Why is that important? Because it's going to give you a better ride, especially under load. Here's why. If I was standing here with my feet close together and someone went to push me, it's very easy for me to go backwards. If I put my feet a little wider apart to a stance and then someone tries to push me, it's a little bit more difficult. If I do the same thing by leaving my stance wide out, but yet putting one foot back, very difficult to push me over. And that's in fact what we do with our suspension system. We put our shocks on the outside of the frame rail and we stagger them. That gives the vehicle much better stability, especially going over rough terrain. Depending on the Tacoma that's right for you, each comes with different capabilities. Some have higher payloads, some have higher towing. This particular model that we're looking at can tow up to 6,400 pounds. Comes with a hitch already installed in it, receiver, and a 7-pin wiring harness. All Tacomas have a sheet molded composite box. As you can see, this is different than a regular box. We don't have steel in here, this is a composite. Why composite? It's tough, scratch resistant, and dent resistant. Toyota also has its unique bed rail system, and where you have these tie-down cleats that move in along the bed rail so you can tie anything you want down into it. We also, of course, have the tie-downs into the box. Some Tacomas also have 400 watts or 120 volts. You can plug in drills, anything that uses that type of electrical system. The Tacoma also comes with the Star Safety System. Very safe vehicle. Please click on the link below to explain a little bit more about the safety features in all of our Toyota vehicles. But I also wanted to talk to you today about the legendary resale and reliability of this vehicle. Check out Consumer Reports. But I want to tell you that this vehicle resale is great. In my 25 years of car experience, I'll tell you that this vehicle is one of our best vehicles in resale values. In fact, check out Canadian Black Book. I hope you'll come in and see one of our product advisors to explain this great product to you. Take advantage of a drive. I'm sure it will fit in your driveway just perfect.